My anticipation for the upcoming release of the GIF creation has led me to not only stalk Nixon's Twitter, but also have around 84.8 hours of demo playtime, as well as make this video. Now, what is this video? Well, so in most of my gameplay videos regarding the GIF Creations Office demo, you may have heard me say something along the lines of these.
Freddy is due to spawn. Yeah, there you go.
Now, how did I know Freddy's spawn time? No, it wasn't a stopwatch. I actually knew before the demo was even released, and it was all due to a teaser that Nixon sent out. Specifically this one. Now, even though Nixon no longer shows obvious debug info in his teasers anymore, I still want to attempt to infer about the game and make some strategies for some. So without further ado, let's begin with a very in-depth analysis. Spoiler warning, if you are someone who has purposefully avoided the GIF creation teasers so you can play the game fully blind, I don't know why you even clicked on this video in the first place, or if you don't want to hear any theory about how the gameplay could maybe be, do consider clicking off of the video. Let's start with the hard mode teaser. In this teaser, we can see what the hard mode for the Office demo is going to look like. So for one, we see the limited fuses, we see the change in environment, the change in the animatronics, they're all replaced with their inner variants now, and we also see that Bonnie can kill you now. This will most likely take place after you beat the game once, but only for analysis. Nixon already explained what hard mode would be himself in this tweet right here. For example, in Office hard mode, everyone is instantly active. You only have a limited amount of fuses to swap. It seems to be 20. Don't know if it's total or if it's just the main, but seeing that it's hard mode, it might be total fuses. As well as Bonnie's punch killing you. Nixon still hasn't said anything else about the Office hard mode since the writing of the script, so this is all we are left with for now. We don't really need to theorize on the strategies of the Office hard mode, as I assume most of us know how the Office works by now. But for those who don't, I may make a guide on it a whole year later. Moving on to the living room, we have quite a few things to talk about here. For one, in the GIF that's on Steam, we can see a short snippet of what seems to be the TV camera undergoing a new event, with the words approaching, correct, and valid flashing everywhere. The camera is also called Cam 01, and the name is Null. We can also see Freddy busting down the center door in the scene. Speaking of Freddy in the hallway, I honestly can't think about what would cause Freddy to just bring a hurricane and then casually proceed to skip at least 3 phases of progression towards your door.
Hello?
Perhaps it's reaction based. Like, the longer you stare at Freddy throughout the hurricane sequence, the further he skips. The only reason why I think this is in another living room teaser, when the back door is checked, we can see Freddy chilling way back there without the hurricane. This could even be a one-time thing, just for the purpose of spooking you. On the TV, the camera names are as follows. Cam 1 is Bonnie and he's in the basement, and Cam 2 is Foxy and he's outside touching grass. Basement cam seems to have an interesting detail, which is the boxes and assets we see in the main menu floating about in it. Remember how I mentioned earlier that Cam 1 turned to null in the montage gif? Yeah, it was also green.
What's that?
Green.
And Freddy is the only green one.
Don't think it's an element though.
Either this is a warning indicator for you whenever Freddy is about to crash the party, or this is an event that marks a mechanics change. Note that Chica hasn't been shown in the living room yet for now. So she might work the same as she did in the original, where if you sit too long, she'll start telling you to stand up and walk just like a parent.
What? I got up! What? Wait.
Since Living Room has the most gameplay-oriented teasers so far, let's try to theorize some gameplay. First off, the remote. The remote is a new addition to the living room, and with it comes power management. Its main uses are shown to be deterring incoming animatronics within the cameras. This might even be used to force an animatronic to pick one of two available entrances, as shown in this part of the teaser. The pause mechanic that made Living Room special in story mode is also now part of the remote. And without debug information to give us clues as to how much usage time we have from max, this is very subject to change. It currently seems to be roughly 12 seconds from green to yellow from this very old Living Room teaser, so the timing could have changed. 7 seconds from yellow to red, and then a little bit longer to empty perhaps. The charging port down at the table will start blinking. I don't think the battery is fully out because the red light is still there. There is an important detail that I would like to clarify, and that is the usage of the remote was different in the two comparisons. From green to yellow, the remote was pausing. Meanwhile, from yellow to red, it was deterring in the TV. Is using the remote in the TV more draining than pausing? I know, it doesn't really make that much sense if that is the case. Hiding spots. Instead of using the backside of the door to hide, we now have a more realistic-ish hiding system via the dining table and the kitchen counter. I say ish, because you cannot tell me Foxy would not have seen us here. Speaking of Foxy, I've made an observation. When Foxy is unpaused in the old teaser, he looks left, then right, then center, before walking away. Meanwhile, in the newer teaser, he seems to look right, then left, pause a bit, and then walk away. Someone could probably use this to their advantage to do some funny shenanigans. In the Bonnie teaser, it is shown that it is technically possible to not use a remote at all to hide from them. Bonnie comes in from maybe the basement door, walks a good distance out, and starts scanning the room. Which means that you could maybe sync or desync Foxy and Bonnie's walk in so you can maximize the remote for deterring. But if you can just hide behind everything after knowing where the animatronics are going to come by, what would be the goal? How would you progress? Wouldn't you just be able to sit behind the furniture the whole night without pausing or deterring? The obvious answer to most of these concerns is most likely to either be Chica or Freddy. But personally, I think it is Chica being the focus this time, as Freddy being the focus again wouldn't be that fun. Now, why do I think it would be Chica? Aside from the fact that nothing of her has been revealed as of right now, we also have the Living Room Story Mode demo as a reference. This could be a reach, but in this obscure and pretty difficult demo, Chica is on the TV, and she makes progress when the lights are out. If you let her escape where she is on TV, she will kill you. I'm not saying that this mechanic is the exact same this time around, but it's not that far out of reach to suggest that it could be something similar to it. There is also one more interesting detail that I saw. In this old teaser living room, Ignited Foxy was the one that killed us. Note the jaw not being wider or organic like Inner Foxy. Here's a better comparison. However, in this teaser, his face looks like it's burning up. Since you only realistically have to pause animatronics if they come in to the room, you could technically just hide behind the table, it seems. It seems the table is your best bet, because you can't exactly hide behind a counter, because then you'll be in full view of Bonnie. So, if you just go behind the table and hide every single time, you could probably cancel out Foxy, Bonnie, as well as Freddy. Although, we haven't seen what Freddy's behavior is after he busts down the door yet. Well, except for this.
Glow-in-the-dark face paint
Oh
and such.
God! Yo,
Anyway,
why is he so rude?
Right?
Didn't even knock first.
I can see it.
what is that?
Came a bit too close. Maybe I was a bit too close to the left chair.
Yeah, you fucking fat.
We don't know if there's going to be a penalty for just simply hiding behind furniture without pausing. There has to be one, right? Otherwise, living room could just be extremely easy. We also still don't really know what the progression would be. It could just be a survival thing, just like how it was in story mode. But who knows? Chica is still a mystery. This teaser is of the living room hard mode. It features the first look of what Freddy would do when he is about to enter while you are looking in the keyhole. Inner Freddy looks so good here. Then Inner Foxy comes in and does the jump scare animation that we've already seen, but in high quality this time. Two interesting things to know are Foxy himself as well as the TV. For starters, Foxy is not coming in from the direction he was shown to be from these two teasers. Instead of coming in from the outside, which is where he is on the TV camera, he's coming in from the left of the TV. Now, onto the TV. We can now see that there is an arrow on the side, possibly for camera swapping. But we also see something new. Cam 4 Hall. There should only be one hall that's present here, and that's Freddy's. Does this mean we could look straight into Freddy's hallway? Or is this the new place Foxy just came from in this teaser? Another hallway. From this point onwards, it is me from the future reading a new script that I wrote, as recently I came across tweets and videos that threw a huge wrench in my theory on Bedroom and the Reborn levels before I even got there in editing. We love it when that happens. So, without wasting any time, let's hop into the largest level in the game. Through these tweets, it is important to highlight some key information. 1. Animatronics have dreams here, and you can access them. Bedroom is the biggest level, and finally, the antagonist's name is the source, and that every single animatronic manifestation comes from it. It does make sense, as it is called the source, after all. They are played by the same voice actor, by the way, so there might be a reason for that, or I'm thinking too deep into this. Now, it seems that Nixon is making the levels in the order of playthrough, which makes sense. And based on what is being posted so far, I would say that he is still working on the bedroom and has yet to move on to the basement. Unless, the Caesar of Bonnie is actually the basement, which I find unlikely. Now, initially I thought differently, so why the sudden change of heart? Well, Nixon in this tweet has said that the reason why the bedroom level is so large is because there will be dream segments with an individual animatronic alongside the usual gameplay that takes place within the bedroom itself. Our hints as to what these levels are these tweets made by Nixon himself. For example, Foxy's dream. And it's like the attic level in Reborn? We see Chica's forest level, Freddy's hallway, and Bonnie's basement too. So, this heavily shows that these Reborn-inspired levels are dream sequences activated somehow within the large bedroom level. Would these play mostly the same with their original Reborn counterparts? Well, let's take a look at all of them, one by one, and then go through them, one by one. Starting with a teaser that actually isn't gameplay related, but instead an environmental one, called Remnants of Joy. This teaser takes the form of an environmental showcase video as well as a showcase of a T-Jog version of Bonnie's Lullaby from FNAF 3. Some environments are what we've seen already, like the office, but with some extra details / props added. Others are definitely new. The first one, right off the bat, doesn't feel like anything we've seen so far. I have a belief that this is the basement. I mean, look at it. It looks basement-y. But this could be a section of Bonnie's Reborn level, which is most likely to be the latter due to what info we have. The next slide seems to be the outdoors, and it's just a sky shot, so there's not much to describe or go off of here. It's just the tip of pine trees, and they do look very realistic. Next we see a shot of the living room. Personally, rewinding shows that nothing new may have been added. The interesting detail is in the TV. What was previously shown to be Bonnie's POV is shown to not be null, but 3 question marks. Could be what the TV shows at the start of the night. The next image is the kitchen area of the living room where a hiding from Foxy teaser took place. Slide after is a stairway leading downstairs, which is interesting, as I can only assume this is a room leading to the basement. I honestly can't think of anything else that this could be. Next shot looks like it's in the living room. Funnily enough, it looks like the place where Foxy enters the living room from. See this frame of the teaser where, I think, Nixon was playtesting with his buds. The green lighting also feels more living roomy than anything else.
Lloyd.
Next shot is of a hallway where furniture and objects did not study up on physics, as we see a desk with a lamp on top plus a cabinet stuck on the wall. Now that I think about it, there was this teaser where we see the creator use the quote-unquote look at matchbox then test flashlight animation, and it was in a hallway similar to this, just without the decoration. It could be that hallway just was stuff in it now. The next 2 slides look like they take place in the same level. Both are more green colored. The windows showing that the outside world is, well, just kinda dead. And there's even more objects now obeying physics here. This may fit with Freddy more as his hurricane is green, so this could be something Freddy chases you down in. But that's honestly all I can really guess. From the future me here, these parts are actually a Freddy's dream sequence in the hallways, due to a upcoming teaser I'm going to talk about. I did guess that it had something to do with Freddy due to the green color, and that seems to be consistent, even through levels. So, high five past me. Finally, the final 5 shots. 3 of which we've seen before in teaser images and videos about the attic. And the final 2 is of the outdoors. It's cool to see the environment of this game. This teaser was posted on Nixon's channel a long time ago, blasting us back to the days of Reborn, which is an even more long time ago. Although the gameplay doesn't seem to have the item collecting objective that it had before, I'm more interested in the end of the video, as after the creator dies to Freddy's bite, he wakes up in his bed in the bedroom. The bedroom, you say? This teaser is where it could have been Chica, but at least we did get some clarification to these parts of Remnants of Joy. It is a 44-second teaser of the hallway where Ignited Freddy, yes, it's Ignited Freddy, not Inner, he's chasing you through the now very claustrophobic hallway. Gone are the easily maneuverable hallways, instead replaced with a lot more furniture and hiding spots. Ah, so that's what this one was. The first time creator hides inside the wardrobe, it seems like Freddy wasn't chasing him yet, as his footsteps sound very calm, and also, there was no red light. Freddy does walk back the way he came after creator steps out, and we see the ICU sequence, which, for me, seems unchanged. But, due to this tweet from Nixon, I would say, not drastically changed. Now, there are some teasers regarding Attic, like the picture of Foxy being Peak Stalker, and the entire roof imploding, I guess. My guess is that this is how the dream sequence of Attic ends, and then you get taken back to the bedroom. Now, note that in this teaser, which I have mentioned before, we can see that he only has one match. But in this teaser, called Behind You, creator has 5 matches. I guess you can find matches in the attic, as well as these very interesting fuse-shaped objects. Honestly, the guess as to what this could be used for is fairly simple. If you pay attention, you can also see that the attic is closed off in some areas, hidden with a black stain on the wall with a floating candle next to it. Lighting it will open a doorway. Creator pre-flashes through the door, as at first it looks pitch black. Perhaps flashing it will make it safe to enter, and not flashing it will make Foxy angrier? What makes this level scary is that it seems that there's little sound that would warn you of Foxy in your proximity. The only one I did hear is this subtle, wooden, floorboard creaking-ish sound. It's so subtle that I missed this sound for the last 20 times that I watched this teaser for details. As for the flashlight mechanic, Nixon has tweaked a little bit compared to Reborn.
Oh god, I'm fucked! Ah, fuck you!
The wait for enemy to attack is still there, but instead of stunning Foxy for a bit, he gets completely pulverized. But no worries, I'm sure he'll reappear soon. And then you'll have nothing to worry about. The creator is now a journalist wandering about nature, outdoors, armed with a camera and notepad. Using the camera on collectible items makes them appear slightly white. You even have to select the items in your inventory by looking at your almighty notebook. If you don't have an item selected, you will see that item is set to none in the camera. After the creator selects the key in the notebook, it switches to gate_key. Upon picking up the key, the sky turns green. I think Chica would love the bread more, cause
Bread tastes better than key.
finally, the time has come. A Chica teaser at last. The outdoors have become quite something else indeed, a gorgeous rainy scenery that almost feels like a real forest in a rainy night. While the threat of high tides and the moon's impending crash into the earth looms high over the horizon, we finally see parts of how Ignited Chica will function in the outdoors. So, let's break the teaser down. Creator walks in the direction of a watchtower. You can go into this watchtower, by the way, as stated by Nixon himself. The notebook that serves as our inventory for collective items seems to have at least 5 slots filled this time. But to be honest, I'm not too sure about this one. As looking at this here, it kinda looks like writing. In this shot over here, you can see what may look like to be the entrance gate that was shown in the original Outdoors teaser way back in January. I mean, look at this side-by-side comparison. Also, in this same shot, we can see what looks to be a light blue beam of light coming from the ground. This most likely is an indicator of sorts, but we don't know what it's for. Now, most importantly, how Chica functions in this level, as that includes the camera as well. 2 birds with 1 stone, baby! So we know for a fact that when Chica spawns, there is an ambience warning you of her presence. Now, if you watch the teaser for the first time and thought, man, are you only able to see her in the camera? No. If I slow this part down for you, you can see that her white eye becomes visible in the dark spot before the camera is even up. I guess you will need the camera to see her clearly, though, as she could be easily missed. We should never underestimate human blindness. Now, for the brief second before Chica starts running away, we can see that the object tag in the camera turns to bird. There is a change in the next statistic too. In the previous Outdoors teaser, we saw the item category is written as none when there was no item selected in the inventory. But this time, item has the word error. This is actually due to Chica's presence, as later on in the teaser, when Chica leaves, you can see the item text change to a new item called bolt_cutters. Which means we will have some bolts to cut. Obviously. We can also see that the camera focus corners will focus in when it's over something important. So I assume that all these times that the camera is focusing in during the teaser while in the trees is the camera focusing in on an unseen Chica. Anyway, we do hear a sound cue and visual cue that tells us that Chica is gone, the bird calling and the camera color switching back to green. There's also a third category written here now, charges. Creator in this video only has 3. This is new. What could the charges possibly be used for? First thought is warding off Chica, but Chica seems to be scared off with you just looking at her in the camera. It could operate on a pattern where you can only look at her in the camera one time, and the next time you have to flash her, or else she will become hostile and kill you, and then the pattern resets. Or it could be that she could charge at you instead of running away, and that's when you flash. Either way, a chicken is getting flash photographs. But if we are to think about this, where else have we seen charges being used? That's right. Foxy's dream in the attic. We even see the creator picking up ghostly fuse charges, for God's sake. What if items collected in other dream sequences carry on to another? We do have a potential counter to this theory, however, and that's this tweet right here, where Nixon says that every level is self-contained. Now lastly, onto the watchtower itself. Why is it here? To be honest, this could even be a radio tower, which makes this a lot more interesting. My main question is the tower a safe spot? There's only one way to find out, and that's when the game comes out. But it could be one. Or I will have a legendary clip where I get jumped in there after assuming it's a safe place, but that's besides the point. This teaser finally shows us Bonnie's dream. True to the reborn version, Bonnie's now hunting you down here in the basement. Key detail is that we are hunted by inner Bonnie. See the human ribcage and the lower human jaw. This guy is shown to just break through walls, and the jump scare kill is utterly brutal. Like, what did bro do to make him this mad? My theory for Bonnie's dream segment is this. He will be able to hear you, and if he's separated by a wall with you, he will break it down for efficiency's sake. So tread carefully through the dark hallways. I wonder if you can break his ankles, or if there are hiding spots available like how we have in hallways. Imagine creator hiding in metal lockers or an event. Or this could just simply be a chase sequence starter. Here's also a little fun little teaser, alright? So, a while back, Nixon released one image. And this image is apparently not the basement level, which means it's most likely Bonnie's dream segment. And, well, Bonnie's dream segment, if we brine this image up, looks very interesting because aside from the purple streaks on the floor and that one purple light and this very workshop looking environment, we also have 4 sensor squares. Yeah. Randomly 4 sensor squares. What is behind them? I have no idea, but I can't exactly derive much theory from this, because, you know, there's not much to see, except the purple streaks, which, I don't know, it's obviously like an indicator of sorts, so, or like a trail of sorts, but like, other than that, I can't guess anything more than this. In this teaser, we see a peek at a cut gameplay feature in Bedroom, where the creator seems to wake up in the bedroom while a rising sound is going on as the bedroom gets darker and darker, before Inner Foxy comes out of the darkness and we have to look him in the eyes multiple times, Five Nights at Candy's 3 style, before he is banished and the bedroom returns to normal, and then it fades to black. Now, the reason why this was scrapped was because, according to Nixon, it was not only hard figuring out sequences for everyone else, which gives us a hint as to roughly how complete the bedroom is, and that it doesn't fit with how the bedroom works now, which means something about its gameplay loop has changed. It would make sense that Nixon wants to make Bedroom grand, as he himself didn't seem to be satisfied with the story mode gameplay loop of the bedroom. Now, what does all this tell us about the bedroom? We know that the bedroom is going to be the biggest level in the game, plus that we will have to enter and play through dream sequences of the various animatronics individually while watching out for active threats coming to us in the bedroom itself. Now, how the animatronics are going to function in the actual level itself is a mystery, as we can't use the Foxy teaser because, you know, it's scrapped, and also it doesn't fit with how it works now. But it seems that the core idea of going through their dreams and such is still a thing. Okay, this next part is unscripted because I forgot to put this little vaguer teaser in. There's a teaser that Nixon once put out, which is a atmospheric soundtrack video, and he showed us this. Which is green, and it has floating boxes, just like the main menu, and just like Bonnie's basement thing. Is this a transitional plane between levels? Just like how in Office we had there was this little plane that reacted, and the door most likely leads to the living room. It has to be this, right? But, well, the ambience sounds cool, and the area looks cool, so I don't exactly know where this could take place. But, it's something to know. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. This is my first time making this kind of content, so do forgive me if things are slightly messy. If the game doesn't release after quite a little bit more, do expect a part 2, because, you know, there's obviously going to be more teasers coming out by then, and I'll just be scripting and, you know, just planning the video out by then as stuff releases. But I do hope you guys have enjoyed so far, and I hope you guys have learned and thought about a few things. If you have any theories as to how, you know, the gameplay will pan out, do leave a comment down below. I'm looking forward to hearing it. Anyways, have a nice day. Like and sub if you're interested, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.